down and people know you frontin'. You telling me you got it.
The stadium is currently empty, but soon it's going to be full of people. Welcome to the World Climbing Club and the IFSC World Championships. We've got a big day ahead of us today. Lead semi-finals and finals, starting with the semis. The men and women's semi-final routes had two very different styles. The men's more endurance-based up to the head wall, the women's with a few more bolder cruxes. For the men, Japan's Saratu and Raku's lead comp is over after he fell at hold 45 plus, and he comes 10th. The Czech Republic's Adam Ondra is also knocked out, falling at hold 40 and down the order. Both South Korea's Dohyun Lee and France's Sam Avizu got the same 48 plus high point. Countback making the difference to starting positions. Let's see some of Sam's climb.
Sam is looking like he could top this route if it keeps going this way. Nothing in doubt so far.
Oh, the foot slipped.
No.
As he got stood up, the foot slipped. So, semi-final results for the men. France's Sam Avizu at the top, followed by South Korea's Dohyun Lee. Austria's Jakob Schubert gets third, and Japan's Taisei Homer and Satomi Yoshida make up the next two spots. Italy's Giovanni Placci climbed amazingly to make his first ever finals, and Spain's Alberto Hines Lopez next. The last spot goes to Japan's Neo Suzuki. Well, the competition has finished for the semi-finals, and Campbell Harrison, my co-commentator, good round, I thought.
Yeah, it was a really fun round and lots of really good splits.
Yeah, well, what we're going to do is have a look at the women's route specifically. We've got three different athletes on the three different parts of the route. It was quite cruxy in sections, so it should be an interesting one to analyse. And Campbell, as I press play here on this video, down low, as we pan up and look at this route, distinct sections, but down low, what's it all about down there?
I mean, the beginning of the route, for the athletes, they're just kind of trying to get onto the wall, find the flow. I think this route in particular was a little bit sketchy at the beginning, a little bit complicated, some shapes that we didn't know super well. But yeah, mostly you just want to start to get a good feeling and kind of absorb into the atmosphere a little bit.
Some of them I was quite surprised. They made little mistakes down here. No one fell this far down. But yeah, you've got to be careful. You can see Annie just skipping around there. Careful of the no texture as well.
Yeah, for sure. So the no texture is a big consideration. I think the feet are quite good. The hands are kind of small, so unlikely to fall, but definitely hard to find that flow that I was talking about. So it'd be really easy to like make a little slip and kind of mentally check out. Yeah, it's just trying to get through it as smoothly as you can.
And then Annie comes up into these crimps. This is, we kind of joke about being her happy place there. Right, that's the end of athlete number one. We've split it three different waves. Cheon So now on screen. The legend, of course, in terms of being Korean, her hometown.
Absolutely.
And very good as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to watch the middle half of this route, and as she gets underway into these crimps, it changes, doesn't it, through this section?
Yeah, the style of the route very much changes. It was, like I said, it was really big feet and really technical, and then through this section it's also quite technical, but in a very different way. I think this section you have a really good opportunity to climb efficiently and give yourself a little bit of an advantage going into the later sections of the route.
Quite a big move, bumping into that pocket, got to be accurate.
Yeah.
And then feet first through here.
Feet first, so yeah, you got to make good decisions, not hesitate too much. It would be really easy to lose the feet and kind of burn off some energy unnecessarily through here.
What really impressed me with her specifically was how accurate she was with his feet. And she used a heel, that left heel. Not many people did that.
Yeah, I think the heel makes sense as well. It gives you enough room to bring the hand in without having to fiddle around too much.
And then up towards these EP slopey holds. Cheon So, nice resting position as well, kind of saving some energy. And then that hold on the left, not really a hand until this point where you've got to bump into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's all about finding the right body positions, really. Again, we haven't quite hit the crux of this route yet. So yeah, just keeping the flow, keeping focused, and trying not to make any big mistakes.
Now she's entering the section which was the crux for a lot of athletes, 27 plus. We saw many people fall here, and it's all about feet, we found, and a heel hook on the right hand side.
Absolutely. I think if you get the heel hook in too low, then you don't have enough reach to come over and do this cross through. some of the athletes kind of had to tag that little foothold, readjust their hips and move again.
Or piano match.
Yes, we saw quite a few different sequences through this section, both with their distinct advantages and disadvantages, I think.
Now this next hold, I kept saying in the live stream, it looks really big from the ground. It's slopey though, and no texture underneath.
Yeah, super slopey. There's one little thumb jib that Cheon is sitting on now. But otherwise, I think mostly what you're looking for in this section of the route is that big foot, which allows you to get like a little bit of a rest out of this section.
Now there's a thumb catch coming up for her left hand. We saw some athletes bump adjust. She hits it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think that was a big decisive factor as to whether or not athletes had enough energy for the next move.
Yeah, so we're approaching the end of this middle part here. Still some moves to go before you can see that we'll start to reverse over to the right. She was looking very good at this stage. No obvious pump.
Yeah, for sure. Still looking solid and ended up climbing a lot further.
Yeah, so she just checks the clock here. She had plenty of time. No one really was running out of time. Maybe Annie or Laura could have been in trouble if they got a bit further, but generally time didn't seem to be a factor.
For sure.
Right, so she unwinds here. Still lots of body tension required. Big feet though, which is good. Another swing over with the feet, and she begins to enter this, what are really nasty holds.
Yeah, all these holds are dual textured. They have these little textured dimples that were kind of, in this instance, turned in awkward ways. And I think for me, this is where we really saw the route step up. We only saw a handful of climbers get to this section, but I don't think anyone made it look super comfortable.
No, there's lots of body tension required, low feet. You can see her hesitating. She dropped back down in order to make that right hand move. I think she was going for perhaps a match in there, but it wasn't really going to work with that style. And then up again to the top, hit the right hand. Got to be accurate with the left foot as well, because if you hit the wrong foot, you're going to slip off.
Absolutely. I think from here she kind of hit like a second wind as well.
Okay, so head wall time. Talking about head wall, usually the angle changes, but the moves tend to get a bit more technical. So let's move on then. So Yanya Garnbret onto the side pull, brings the right foot up, and then there are some blocked crimps up there. She creeps that right hand up. Now Yanya's such like the queen of head walls. We've seen her up there so many times.
I mean, she's just so overstrong for the route. Like, once if she can get her weight over her feet with the amount of finger power she's got, it's hard to make something that's going to make her fall.
There's so much tension required here. She's got those feet over on the left. She's leaning off. You can see the elbows start to go up just a little bit for Yanya.
Yeah, and this whole end section is just really like, how well have you climbed through the steep? How much energy do you have left? And how efficiently can you make it through? Often the feet are quite slippery or quite limited, so you have to be really precise and really decisive.
And no one else got to this point. This toe was important, almost jamming it between the volume.
Absolutely, and kind of taking that almost last opportunity to get that draw in. And then she's got to, really muscle down, move those feet around. And it's all about just not making any mistakes for Yanya.
Last two crimps to come then. There's usually a jump at the top, and this is a long jump up to a blind pocket on that volcano hold.
Huge move off some pretty bad holds to what I think is not a great hold either. And it was really close for her, but not quite.
All right, well, that was the women's semi-final route, split between three athletes. Thank you, Campbell. Appreciate that.
Me.
Thanks, man. So the women's results. Slovenia's Yanya Garnbret is way out in front on 51+, nearly topping the route. She's followed by South Korea's Jain and Great Britain's Erin McNeice, perhaps her closest rivals. The USA's Annie Sanders takes the fourth spot, then Lučka Rakovic and her Slovenian teammate Rosa Reker. Austria's Flora Oblasa and France's Zelia Avezou get the last two places. Our route setters need high-quality holds to ensure the athletes have the best possible routes to climb on. So let's do a deep dive into one of the IFSC's favourite hold brands.
My name is Ryan Sewell, and I'm an IFSC Routesetter here setting lead for the World Championships in Seoul. Yeah, so Cheeta has a history in route setting, started by route setters, shapes designed by route setters, and so they're incredibly practical and functional for our purposes. Manufacturing-wise, the quality of the material is really good. Things like inset screw holes, things like the dual text, things like the general shape and design. It's ergonomic and also just very functional. So we put quite a lot of Cheeta on the men's semifinal, and most of the holds that are on that are fiberglass holds, usually quite open hand. Every now and then there's a jib, usually for the thumb. Some of the newer shapes from Cheeta, they're in purple on this route, and really nice open hand shapes to grab. Yeah, so a skyball is like a very modern volume in that it is both fiberglass and wood. It's a very big round shape that stacks one smaller on top of the other. Think like the nesting dolls. It looks a lot like that, but on the wall. And so it allows you to expand the wall much deeper and change the profile by varying degrees. You can put one on and it's a little bit of change. You can add another one on top, even more change. You can even add a third or so far as a fourth to create a very large ball style feature. The process for us setting a route is to first look at the material and identify what we have in what colors from what brands and what satisfies the needs for the round. And then once we have the holds picked out and we say we have this in this color and that color, then we start creating the movement and start ideating how we're gonna create the climb, different moments, and then after that we start establishing things on the wall. And throughout the process, always open, things always changing, always deviating. Maybe this idea won't work. Let's pivot. Let's go in this new direction.
There are more Cheeta Skyballs on the finals route, and it is time for the finals highlights. Let's discover who our world champions are going to be. Before the finals started, we had a lovely moment on stage as Jain Kim was awarded a special recognition of her services to climbing over the years. With her husband and daughter watching, it was a great celebration of her success. Similar to the semi-finals, both final routes had a very different style. The women climbed first, and their route featured a low jump move that caused a few heart-in-the-mouth moments. "17-year-old Flora Oblasa continues to show us why she's one to watch. She had little slips on the grey volume section, and those moments did build up. She fell on 29 plus for 8th. Luchka Rakovic was in 7th. She did a reachy, static move on the jump. She fell with a big barn door style move where she faced the audience and then picked the wrong foot jib to fall. 6th goes to Zelia Abazu, who was returning to form after missing finals at the last World Cup. She looked smooth and precise with her movements all the way up to the head wall. At the angle change, she started to look pumped and fell shortly afterwards. It was nail-biting watching Annie Sanders climb as she used raw power and raw crimp strength on the thinner sections of the route. The clock was against her on the head wall though, and she was timed out before she fell for 5th. 4th goes to Erin McNeice, and she misses out on the podium by a plus. On the head wall, she did climb a little past a quick draw, and that seemed to affect her, knowing it might be clipped, and she fell there. The podium, and Seoul claimed a medal in front of her home crowd. She made the grey volume section look the easiest of all the climbers so far. She used a different sequence on the moves to get to the red and black volumes on the head wall. The silver medalist and vice world champion is 19-year-old Rosa Recker. She floated across the jump down low, hanging off one arm to complete the sequence. Before the head wall, she managed to recover some energy and was impressive high up. Did anyone really doubt that Janja Garnbret would win? Once again, she proves why she is the very best, and she did it in some style.
20 seconds, actually fast to go out.
So here we go, she's rested enough. Checks the clock, she wants more rest. Here's the pop. It's in for Janja, she's got to be quick to make it. She will make it, and she is the world champion. Wow.
With the women's competition finished, it was time for the men, and the route was immediately tricky down low. Giovanni Placci gave us all a bit of a scare as he didn't clip the first draws until quite high up. He fell the lowest, having lost his foot, but a strong performance for his first finals. 7th, and Jakob Schubert couldn't repeat his gold from the last world champs in Bern. He looked great down low, but before the head wall he wasn't accurate enough with the left foot and had a surprise slip. Sam Avezou fell in the same position. He did seem weightless down low on the campus section, flicking between the moves. That yellow foot jib got him though, the number 1 qualifier for finals falling there. Neo Suzuki used all of his endurance to get to 5th place. He was occasionally a little bit wild with his feet, cutting loose throughout this run. The triple blue volumes on the head wall caught him out, perhaps needing a bit more body tension. 4th, and for the first time this season, Alberto Gines Lopez misses the podium. He looked comfortable on the techie moves right at the start of the route. On the head wall, he was in full fight mode, bumping his right hand onto a dish that he couldn't quite hold. The first of the men's medals goes to Taisai Homer, who missed the last world champs due to injury. He was relaxed as he twisted between drop knees, but the pump kicked in shortly afterwards, and he fell on the same 42 plus as Alberto. Countback decided silver and gold, with Satoshi Yoshida and Dohyun Lee getting 43 plus. Satoshi was good at changing speed between sections, and he had a little bit more in the tank than Alberto on the head wall. So Dohyun Lee is crowned the champion in front of his home crowd. He was second to last out, and here's how he did it.
Throughout. Oh, he didn't do there. He's going to get the clip from here. I was going to say he didn't clip. But no, he got to there, so.
It's quite a hard hole to clip off that. It's super slopey, and he's very far to the left at the moment, so he needs to drag that heel in, which he does with the release. Oh, nearly fell there as well. Oh, that left leg is discoing away. He's shaking here. Finds the right again. What a performance from him.
Oh, he's definitely on the podium.
Yes!
Oh, he's going to move into first place with that.
Wow, Dohyun Lee climbs his way to provisional gold. We think we wait for the plus to be added. The shake he had with the left foot.
That was exciting.
Well, he's guaranteed a silver medal in front of his home crowd, and look at that reaction from him.
Time to move from lead to boulder, and the route setting team are behind me. They'll be working into the night to prepare the semi-finals for our athletes. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the action, and I'll see you tomorrow.